This is VOA News. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton. An internet security watchdog group called Citizen Lab said on Monday a cyber surveillance company based in Israel developed a tool to break into Apple iPhones with a never-before-seen technique. It said the technique has been in use since February. The discovery is important because of the critical nature of the vulnerability. Citizen Lab says it requires no user interaction and affects all versions of Apple's operating systems, except for those updated Monday. The vulnerability developed by the Israeli firm named NSO defeats security systems designed by Apple in recent years. Apple confirmed Citizen Lab's finding and said it fixed the vulnerability in Monday's software update. In a statement to Reuters, NSO did not confirm or deny that it was behind the technique. Citizen Lab said it found the malware on the phone of an unnamed Saudi activist and said the phone had been infected with spyware in February. It's unknown how many other users may have been infected. U.S. President Joe Biden will host a first in-person summit of leaders of the so-called Quad countries, Australia, India, Japan, and the United States, later this month. The leaders of those countries will discuss cooperation to push back against China's growing assertiveness. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said in a statement that the summit will be held in Washington on September 24th. The leaders will be in the United States for the United Nations General Assembly in New York. President Biden is set to address that gathering on September 21st. This will be the first time the Quad members have met face-to-face, although they held a virtual meeting in March to discuss COVID-19 vaccines and climate change. China was also on the agenda in that meeting. This is VOA News. The chief of the U.S. Capitol Police has confirmed that security fencing will be reinstalled around the U.S. Capitol building ahead of a rally scheduled for Saturday, where demonstrators will be protesting the arrests of participants in the January 6th riot at the Capitol building. Security fencing was installed immediately following the break-in at the Capitol in January, and it remained for months. Streets around the Capitol were barricaded for weeks. This time, Capitol Police say if all goes well, the fencing will come down very soon after the rally. Local law enforcement has increased staffing for Saturday in preparation for the so-called Justice for J6 gathering. News reports say there has been some online chatter about attacking liberal churches or Jewish institutions in Washington while the police are distracted by the rally downtown. On Monday, Capitol Police arrested a man with a bayonet and a machete near the Democratic National Committee headquarters, a few blocks from the U.S. Capitol building. The man's vehicle bore swastikas and white supremacist symbols, and he told the police he was on patrol. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, testifying at a congressional hearing Monday, is staunchly defending the country's military withdrawal last month from Afghanistan. He told the House Foreign Affairs Committee that there is no evidence that staying longer would have made the Afghan security forces or the Afghan government any more resilient or self-sustaining. As the U.S. and its allies drew close to completion of their withdrawal from Afghanistan, Taliban insurgents took over the country, seizing the capital, Kabul, on August 14th and 15th. At that time, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani fled to exile in the United Arab Emirates. Blinken said U.S. officials did not foresee the downfall of the Afghan government so quickly, even as the Taliban advanced throughout the country. Republican lawmakers and some Democrats have criticized the president's handling of the final days in Afghanistan. The United Nations human rights chief says her office has received credible allegations of reprisal killings of former Afghan security forces. The killings are blamed on the Taliban. Her office also said there have been instances in which officials in the previous government and their relatives were arbitrarily detained and later turned up dead. Michelle Bachelet spoke on Monday to the UN Human Rights Council, warning of a new and perilous phase for Afghanistan. She criticized the Taliban for a disconnect between their words and their actions. She cited multiple allegations of house-to-house searches by the Taliban looking for officials from the previous government. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton, VOA News.